Do you know what app we're talking about?
No.
Okay. What's this?
It's a grinder.
There you go. Do you not know what that app is?
Yeah, I know what grinder is.
Yeah!
Hello, I am Newbooger.
I'm Morbid.
And this is the Schmucks Club.
Schmucks Club.
Welcome to the Schmucks Club, where we talk about incidents in life and life in general. We also discuss video games and technology.
I'm Morbid.
Ah, my lord. I'm scared. I don't know how to react to that.
So, I normally have my camera on so I can see. I don't know how close I got to the camera.
You're about this close.
Yeah, alright. You can see the grave.
I feel like I should...
More like...
Oh no, I killed him. I killed him. I did it. It seems like every time we start an episode now, you have to cough and die. Why is that?
Well, so that one was post-nasal drip.
Oh. Damn it, I thought it was going to be something interesting. I'm sorry to bore you all. It wasn't interesting. It wasn't.
And to anybody that deals with post-nasal drip, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it sucks.
I have chronic, like it never leaves. I have post-nasal drip all the time. Sorry to define what chronic means.
So, if for all those that don't know what chronic means, it means all the time.
Rewind the video 10 seconds, listen to it, you're good.
Yeah, I can't even define it for you. I'll put it up right here. This is the actual definition of chronic. Did you get that? Do you now know what chronic means? It means weed. It's chronic.
Chronic.
God, you remember back in the day?
Tell me you put the definition of chronic weed. That'd be great.
So now that we all know what chronic is.
Unlike the popular app, this is one of my favorite devices.
This is the device that I use instead of the app on my phone. This is how I grind my weed. Yeah.
Not that I have any problems with anybody that uses the app, because I've heard from some of my friends that it's a very successful app. So, I mean, hats off and hopefully hats on, if you know what I mean, to my friends over there.
Are you talking about condoms? What is going on? I don't even know.
I'm glad you caught up to that whole conversation.
Dude, I'm lost.
Do you know what app we're talking about?
No.
Okay. What's this?
It's a grinder.
There you go. Do you not know what that app is?
Yeah, I know what grinder is.
Yeah. Now literally everything I just said over the last 2 minutes just went.
So what's drove me nuts throughout, especially modern days, or what our current social structure and our current social situations, is nobody's allowed to have a different opinion of you. Now, regardless of whether or not that person wants to change their opinion, and factually they're wrong about their opinions, right? But the philosophy nowadays is if that person doesn't have the opinion that you do, they are automatically an enemy. I don't get that concept. I don't understand the concept of not having a civil discourse. Instead, we have enemies versus enemies. It's me versus you, or my group versus your group. I never understood that. And I don't understand how things have changed. Now, I'm not saying, because I mean, I'm 35 years old now. A lot of people will think that's an older person, but that's not necessarily an older person, right? You know, I'm in the mid stage of my life, right? You know, you're older than me, but
Yeah, I'm 40.
and you could probably tell me if I'm completely wrong about that. I mean, you're only 5 years older than me, right? So you're not.
No, there's no generational gap.
Right. There's no huge generational gap. No. But anyways, my point is that I don't know if it's always been like this, and it might be, and you might have social structures where it has been different. But when I was brought up and raised in the world that we're currently living in, I was always brought up that a person is allowed to have an opinion, that person's allowed to express their opinion, as long as that person's not personally hurting. I don't want to say personally hurting, but as long as that person's not taking something to an extreme and being insulting, then that person's allowed to have an opinion about that thing. But nowadays it's, I don't agree with this, and the other side's like, well, you don't agree with that, you're completely against me. And why do we have to have that philosophy? Why do we have to have people who think differently on a social structure scale, on even a politician or a political thank you, a political idea? Why is it that just because their opinion differs on how we should do it? So let's take a conservative versus a socialist. Why is it that just because the conservative has a different opinion on a matter, why is he an enemy of you? Why is he completely against you? Why is it that everything that he has to say is not right? I mean, just because you're a conservative doesn't necessarily mean you're completely wrong. Just because you're a conservative doesn't mean you're completely right. There's some things that about conservatives that I can agree on. There's some things a socialist thinks that I can agree on. That's why it brings me into the independent / moderate centrist. I am a person that believes that both sides of the argument have good points. I might not agree with a conservative, I might not agree with a socialist, but I can agree on some of the points that they have. Right now in the world that we live in, you can't agree on anything the conservative agrees with, because the conservative is the enemy. And even though you two have the same points, you will argue the same fucking point for the same fucking thing, but you'll say he's wrong or she's wrong. And the conservative will do the same thing. I'm not leaving the conservative. A conservative could agree exactly what the socialist is saying, but the socialist is completely wrong, even though you guys are arguing the same fucking thing and coming to the same fucking conclusion. What sense does that make? Why is it that it has to be that way? It makes no fucking sense. There is absolutely nothing about that makes sense. Now, going back to what we're talking about, there are some opinions that you have that I don't agree with. But that doesn't mean that I don't think you can have that opinion. It doesn't mean I think you're an asshole for it. It doesn't mean that I think you're a complete fucking moron just because I don't agree with what you're saying. It just means you have that opinion. I don't understand where we've drifted off from that social structure, right?
Somewhere along the way, we became very, very closed and single-minded because we forget that people are made up of hundreds and thousands of thoughts and opinions and feelings, but you focus on one because one person thinks this way on one article, one discussion, they're on one side of it, they're automatically an enemy. What if you agree with them for 70 out of 100 things, you know, and then you could give or take 10 of them and then 20 of them you disagree with. So you're actually, this is the unfortunate part of it, is you're actually ruining the possibility of having good conversations with things you have in common and laying low the things you don't have in common so you can communicate with other human beings.
Yeah, it really is. It's, but the problem is nobody wants to communicate, and everybody want to just blast insults and insult each other. That doesn't make sense. That is not how you live in a society. I get there's people that are like that, you know, no matter what, as an individual, a person, you know, there's going to be people that just don't accept that as the ideology. I totally said that wrong. My apologies, but I said that wrong. But you get my point. So
grammar day, we're fine.
Yeah, my mind's completely brain fucked. So go with that. But I guess at the end of the day, like, I don't understand why that is our idea. In order to coexist as humans, we have to be able to agree, because our society thrives when people agree. Right? Or when people can actually have the conversation, when people work together. We'll put it that way. Like a pack of wolves. Animals are a social being, and that's how they survive. If we're going to be completely insulting to another person, there is no way that we are going to exist. It's going to be the biggest part of our downfall. I mean, it leads to giant wars. It leads to death and destruction. And these are things that we don't want. I don't understand why we have to be that way. Like, you know, we all fuck around and we all joke around. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, I can coexist with you. I can coexist with Box. I can coexist with everybody that I talk to. I can personally even coexist with people I do not agree with. I do it on a daily basis, right? You know, I have friends that their opinion I don't agree with. Like, I don't agree with you, but that's okay. That's okay. I don't care. I mean, I probably talked about this a million times on this podcast alone, but it infuriates me to the point, and it's like, it just infuriates me to a point that I get to a boiling point. I don't understand how we can live that way. I don't understand how you can look at someone and be like, you're a complete scumbag because your political party is a Republican. Or,
but it's not just politics either, though.
Right? No. Exactly. It's not just politics.
The entire world has disintegrated or degraded into just not caring about people walking down. My favorite thing to do is it's embarrassed a couple of my friends. I don't care, but overly interact with people. Go out of the way to interact with people. Like, pull up to a stop sign and they're playing really loud music next to me. Okay, whether it's metal, rap, country, classical, doesn't matter what it is. So the normal thing, if I say, what do you think I did? Someone would be like, oh, what'd you do? Fucking tell them to turn the music down. What'd you do? No, I fucking danced to their music. I looked at them and I was dancing, and they look over at me like I'm yelling at them or something, right? Because you see it out of the corner of your eye. You see somebody fucking doing something, you think I'm yelling at them. So they turn with that, like, defensive, like, oh fuck, and they see me just grinding out to whatever they're doing, and then they laugh, and then we both go on our way, and I never see that person again. That is what is so fun about it. But that's the thing is you interact with people around you, communicate with them. It'll make your life better.
Yeah.
Depression is at an all-time high because everybody is sitting at home, fucking glued to their goddamn phones like this. This is where they get all their talking. It's like there's something about being a person with people. So
here's the deal. Most of the people that you have in office currently, I'm not going to say all, because there are people that I do like and I dislike. But you have these authoritarians that are in office. These are people that want to run your life. That is the way that they want to do it. And then you have a loud group of people who are like, yeah, we want you to run our life. Even though I don't think that a lot of these people understand what it means. Right? I would
say the vast majority don't.
They don't.
That's the problem.
Right. I don't think that, I don't want to call them dumb because I don't necessarily think they're dumb. But at the same time, here's the problem. You are giving in to people who want to run your life, and that's what you want. You want the government to control what other people think. right? So that means that the government, right? That means that they're gonna try to control what you think, say, and do. It's not just gonna be the other people that you're like, you don't have that opinion of me, or you don't have the right opinion. It's not just gonna be those people. It's gonna be you too. You too.
Funny that that's exactly how they pander it to. So they obviously they know the crowd. The crowd is not hard to figure out. It's because it's very basic. The way that the whole structure of the crowd thinks is very basic. So they figured them out right off the bat, and they coin the phrases and they twist the stories to be like, if we do this, we can control those people. And they point to the other. It's the huge misdirection, and it's almost like they're just too close to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's two type of people. So when you run into a wall, you can either stand in front of it, not do anything, try to push it over, whatever, or you can step back and you can kind of see if there's a different way around it. You know what I'm saying? So when you get too close, these are just the people that are just waiting for the solution. They're not, I don't want to say they're not ambitious. I don't know, and I'm just like you. I don't know how to label it. I don't know how to say it, but it's just. I think it's a personality trait that
they've been doing it for years, dude. These people in office that these motherfuckers vote for have been doing it. Look at the entire Democratic Party and look at a source majority of the Republican Party. These motherfuckers have been in politics for years. You're talking 40 years, 30, decades. 40. Yeah, exactly. These people have been doing the same shit to you for years. And you think those motherfuckers are going to be the one that change? Right. No, you're staring at it and saying, yeah, go you. And they're the ones who have been fucking you for the last 20 so years of your life. Because most of us are in our 25-ish range. Most of these people are in that range. They're of the younger generation, right? They're between 20 to 30 because they don't understand the world and how it works and what these people are doing. Even you could put the information right in front of your face. Let's take a look at Joe Biden and what he's done for the last 40 years of his life. He's done everything you could think that is possible to fuck you. That is all he's done. Every little detail that he has ever tried to do. You think that motherfucker is doing anything to help you? No. What has that guy been doing for 40 years of his life? He's been doing everything that he possibly could do to make money. That's what he's done. What do you think Nancy Pelosi's been doing for 40, 50 years? She's been doing 40, 50 years. You get my point. For about 30 to 40 years, she's been doing things to make her money. That's why
she figured out.
Oh yeah, she got figured out. She's bro. Fucking. I don't care.
You can hate her all you want.
She is one of the. Oh my god. She is one of the smartest people that exist in politics. And because everything that she's ever done in her life is for herself and her husband. That's it. I wouldn't even. And she's convinced you that she's helping you. Yep. Nancy Pelosi's been helping you. Why do you keep voting for this?
How many people in the United States? Okay, 330 million rounded by 500,000.
Okay, so makes sense.
330 million. So that would leave probably, what would you say, 275 million people that are the quiet middle, that are not the crazies. We say about a third of the country is crazy, or you say a quarter of the country is crazy.
The quiet middle, like the middle of the pack?
Yeah.
A lot more than that. A lot more than that. A lot of the quiet people in this country, if you're looking at 300 million, right? We'll just say 300 million. You're probably looking at a good 100 million people who are middle of the road.
Okay, so I overguessed it because I was saying closer to like 250 million people.
Oh, 250.
So that group of people that we were talking about, where they're not the loud people. I think there's so many of them, and what's crazy is every one of them, whether you have a law degree or not, can literally see a decision being made and her husband making money off from it and going, You know, I'm pretty sure that's illegal. I'm not, that's illegal. You can do that. And now she's doing it in front of people's faces, and she's not getting in trouble for it. So why would she stop? Why would you really? That's why I say it. I'm not saying I support her or anything, but I'm like, that's fucking. She's at an untouchable level, and there shouldn't be anybody in the United States that's that way.
No, not even the president of the United States should be able to be that.
Well, I don't know. It depends on which president you are, because your house can get raided. That was great.
Unfucking believable.
Earlier, when we're talking about the people and the age and how long they've been there, I heard this once, and I keep bringing it up in conversations because it's such a cool phrase or a neat idea. But if you think of the people that are making the decisions for society, are people that haven't been part of society in decades. Literally, they are so out of touch with what society is because they've been in politics so long, which takes you completely out. They're making decisions on things that they have almost no experience in. That's messed up.
Yes. Have you ever heard of Gunsmoke before?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've never seen it. I feel like I will be more cultured after watching.
Gunsmoke? You don't know what Gunsmoke is?
No, I know what it is. I just haven't seen, like, I've seen pictures. I've never watched it.
Bonanza. You know what Bonanza is? Have you ever seen it?
I haven't watched much of it. Maybe an episode or two.
This is my life.
How old were you when you were watching those?
Oh, jeez. I was 8, 9 years old because my grandmother watched them. And I was watching them with my grandmother.
8 or 9.
I mean, they were made back in like, I want to say.
I'm doing a comparison of like your age group, like when you were watching those, like what I was watching at that is. Keep going. I don't remember when they were made. You can tell.
I think it was 40s, 50s, maybe. I think it was black and white. Back in the black and white day, I believe. Gunsmoke, at least. Bonanza might have been color.
It was the same. It was the Gilligan's Island color.
Yes, that very, very old classic.
Yeah, I like that. That was a show I watched a lot of.
At Gilligan's Island, I watched a lot of, the guy,
The Andy Griffith Show, starring
Eddie Griffith?
Yes.
Yeah, the Eddie Griffith Show.
MASH. God, I've seen a lot of MASH. But so I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Come closer. Closer. One of my favorite shows growing up was Golden Girls. Did you just cross your eyes on me?
I'm gonna wait till you see it in the video.
That's good. So yeah, Golden Girls.
You gotta tell me what you thought. You know what? So the Golden Girls main topic. Ready for this? The man that my mother met when I was 4 or 5, and has been with ever since. That was our TV show during dinner.
Golden Girls?
So,
yes.
Golden Girls.
Yes.
So,
it was.
It was that time frame that it came on.
It was.
So I just remember eating. But what always sucked was, we had a dining room and there was a living room, and the TV, you could see the TV from 2 seats out of 4, okay? And where I sat was not one of the 2 out of the 4. So my mom sat on this side and he sat across from us. And they could both see the TV because it was right here. So if I wanted to see the TV, I'd have to go like this and peek over the shoulder. But then you're also seeing, you're seeing the side angle of the TV too. So not only is it hard to see, you're creeping. So I basically had to listen to most of it.
Yeah. So
But what a good show.
It was exactly right because I used to sit on the couch, my aunt in her recliner, my grandmother in her chair, the chair that she sat in, the same position. Yeah, dude. And me, my mom, or me and my brothers or whatever, I used to sit on the floor on the, in front of the table, the coffee table, and I used to eat whatever we were having to eat that day watching Golden Girls. Legit. That was my childhood. It was fantastic. I loved the Golden Girls. I actually out back here, right there.
Yeah.
Those are bookmarks of Golden Girls.
Okay, I see. I see.
We bought that
Nice.
at Barnes and Nobles when I went to get whatever book. I think it was this one right here. But I ended up getting those. The funny thing is we were seeing like all these shows, and we're talking classic shows, right? We went to Barnes and Nobles. We're seeing all these classic shows. I mean, me and my wife were talking because we were talking about some of the shows, and I was like,
Just meow me.
meow. No, I didn't mean.
Say me and my wife, and I thought you said meow.
Oh,
I thought you were meowing me.
Me and my meow.
Carry on. You guys
Remember,
read the books, too?
we went to Barnes and Nobles. We're there, we're talking, and we see like these bookmarks with all these different shows. And we get up to the counter, and it's like this, probably like this 21-year-old girl behind the counter ringing us up. And my wife had bought her bookmarks, and she's like, I bet you if there was Golden Girl bookmarks, she would buy them. I was like, oh, fuck yeah, dude. I love the Golden Girls. And no shit, without a second's, like, not even a friggin', didn't even take a second for the lady to respond. This girl, she goes, oh yeah, we have Golden Girl bookmarks. I'm like, legit? And she's like, yeah, hold on a second. She comes out from behind the counter. She goes over to one section. She finds them, and she's like, right there. And she puts them on the counter. She's like, you really want them? I'm like, hell yeah, dude. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Blanche. God, I can't fucking Blanche. What was Betty White's? Was it Doris? Man, now I'm drawing.
White was Blanche, wasn't she?
Betty White was not Blanche. Betty White was
Blanche was the other.
the
Not the tall one.
the brown-haired
Doris was
one.
the mother. Yes. Yeah.
Damn it.
Doris the mother?
Hold on. I'll tell you in 1 second. Golden
Give me a second.
Girl.
Sophia.
Sophia,
Sophie.
yes. She was
Hold on, don't fill it in yet. Don't fill it in yet.
It's Sophie, yep.
Doris, right? You got look at that.
Yes.
Blanche and
Where is
hold on.
Ice?
Give me 20 seconds.
It's not Doris, by the way.
Oh, it's Dorothy.
It is Dorothy. Yes.
That came to me as soon as you said that. Sorry.
And you're gonna kick yourself in the ass as soon as you remember. And just as soon as I thought of the name, right as I saw the name, it was one of those. So you have Blanche, Sophie, and Dorothy. Who's the last Golden Girl? This is actually Betty White's character.
It's Betty. I knew it was Betty White's character.
You want a hint?
Sure.
What do you want for a hint?
Syllables.
How about this? Object. Think of a flower.
Rose, isn't it?
Yes, it's
Yeah,
Rose.
Okay, so 100%. I didn't know, and I had probably. I didn't say it, so that means I had less than 50% faith in myself. I'd probably say 30%. About right before that, I was like, "Is it?" You know what I was trying to think of? I was trying to think of when they yelled at her for being stupid.
Yeah. Rose.
Yeah. Yes. And I was like, "What are they saying?" That's why I said syllables. Because if you would have said one, I would have said Rose. And that's where I was going with the syllable, because I wanted to make it interesting. I didn't want to be like the letter or anything, but yeah.
All I can think of is when Dorothy would go.
Shut up, Rose.
Oh God, what a great show.
Yeah. So Sophia was the mother.
What show was their neighbor? Do you remember their neighbor? What show was he part of? The guy that came over all the time.
I can't remember the show. I know there is a show.
You know,
yeah, but I can't put put my name on it. I don't have it up.
Nest.
Empty Nest.
Empty Nest.
Yeah.
Because it was him. He was the lone, like a lone father. That's why he visited them and shit. It was about his life.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
his adult children and shit. Yeah, it was a good show, but it was not Golden Girls.
No, you can't. You can't copy Golden Girls, baby. You can't do it.
Furthest back cartoon that you can remember that you enjoyed.
Furthest back cartoon. So,
Wait, have you? I don't even know if you've ever heard of mine. Have you ever heard of the Gummy Bears?
the Gummy Bears.
Gummy Bears, very 2D drawn, almost color book art. How flat drawn it was.
I think I've seen it later in life.
Okay, yeah,
I think I know what you're talking about, but I'm not 100%.
yeah. And I can blow your mind, by the way, because what we should do, we can do this off screen because it'll be really interesting. We go through, and there's at least 3 characters that are identical voices to other very well-known cartoons. Very well-known, and they didn't even. It's not the same. It's the same actor, the exact same voice.
So
It's a family of bears, and they go on adventures and shit. That's what it's all about. But they're the exact same, and in the 80s. But what was yours?
So, are we going with our favorite cartoon or our oldest known cartoon?
Like first favorite. How about that? First favorite cartoon. That's what Gummy Bears falls in on for me.
So,
First known favorite.
my first favorite and my number one all-time favorite is not necessarily a cartoon, but it was a movie. And it was Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Okay. Yeah.
Eddie Valiant.
Please, Eddie.
Oh, please.
Dude, that movie freaked me out and scared me in a lot of ways.
Did a lot of people. The ending with the guy. Spoiler. Here it is. Boom. Right here. Boom,
Spoiler
boom.
alert on a 30-year-old.
Fucking old as fuck movie. Boom, 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 boom. Spoilers.
Spoiler.
But I'm gonna tell you this: everybody was always freaked.
The movie's worst spoiler alert ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
30-year-old spoiler. So everybody hated the ending scene, and I can tell
Like a
you.
big fight in the warehouse.
I can. No, hold on. Let me explain to you what scene, because I guarantee you will be like, "Yep, that's the scene." So, in Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Holy smoke, he's a toon! Surprise? Not really. That lame brain freeway idea could only be cooked up by a toon. Not just a toon! Remember me, Eddie?
When I killed your brother, I talked. Just
But that is it, dude. I can quote that movie. I can tell you just about every single cartoon character that's in it, because that movie has Bugs Bunny and Yosemite Sam and all that.
The Warner Brothers crew.
Yes, exactly. But
I was trying to sum it for you.
yeah, I know that scene. I know that scene very well. So, end of the story.
That's such a good movie.
Dude, I love that movie. I will still watch it to this day. I legit will watch that movie any day. If someone walked up to me or anybody was like, "Hey man, you want to go watch Who Framed Roger Rabbit?" I'm game. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I love that movie.
For my earliest childhood, it would probably be Goonies.
Goonies, yeah. I know a lot of
Goonies is one
people.
that I just can't get sick of. And it's one of those, like people will say they know something word for word, but like when you get to the point of knowing every sound, that's, you know what I mean? Like,
yes. Yeah. That 2-frame Roger Rabbit for me,
Right,
dude.
right.
I can tell you.
Sit there and you'd be like,
Oh.
you know, you could just do weird things because you know when certain sounds, like you even know the timing of it. That, you know what I mean, without even thinking. But yeah, that's what Goonies is for me. I like that.
Yeah, Goonies. Yeah, I get that. I know a lot of people. I was never a huge Goonies fan. Like, I watched it a few times, but I just, Who Framed Roger Rabbit just did it. I don't know why. It was just like, it was action packed, but it wasn't really action packed. I don't know.
Mixed two worlds too. I mean, that was something people weren't doing back then.
Yeah.
You know, they were crossing the CGI world, which was fairly fucking terrible back then, but for the time being was fairly fucking awesome. So,
yeah, but it made sense for the movie because the movie was about cartoons in our world. It wasn't like they're lifelike, like you and me. They were cartoon.
Yeah, they stayed cartoons.
Right, and it made sense. And so the CGI was actually really good in this movie. I mean, it's a classic 1990s movie, you know, same kind of effects, but it worked perfectly.
The only reason I say that I gave him that grade is because in the category of CGI, where it would probably, I don't even want to know the percentage of how much of the movies we watch nowadays aren't even close to being real, because it would ruin. I try my hardest.
Everything.
Even when I see it and it's so bad, I really try to force my brain to be like, just picture it as real. It looks so stupid, but picture it as real. You know what I mean? Like, I miss that part of movies. But anyway, that's all I was doing is, if they can create a world that looks as real as it does, all within CGI, comparing that technology to what was available back in.
Everything.
That's what I was comparing. That's what I was comparing it to, is what they can create now to what Who Framed Roger. Because I think it was genius, because I think, like you said, that's why the movie is genius. Because you literally mixed the two worlds and you didn't change a thing about either world. You know, that's what I think was cool.
Yeah, dude. Dude, man. That is nostalgia coming back to me.
I wish we had the computer that Ben Affleck has in Paycheck. You seen that movie? Yeah. So, and he can put the little thing on, and all of a sudden he can just play with all this shit, right? He can just move all this shit around all he wants. Dude, I wish we could do that right now, because I don't know how I do it with words, but I would try.
Not a lot of people know that movie, Paycheck.
If you don't, watch it, please. I would say
it's a good movie.
Ben Affleck plays a fairly typical Ben Affleck character, but with a very good story. So the typical Ben Affleck character melds into the story better, so you forget that it's a Ben Affleck character. I enjoy the movie.
You know what was a stupid movie? Reindeer Games.
Snow Murder and Charlize Theron's tits. Let's go!
It's pretty much a movie.
Yeah, come on. No. Okay, stop. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, I absolutely. It is the dumbest movie I've ever seen in my life. It was
probably the first set of perfect female parts I've ever seen. The first ones. Perfect.
That movie was literally just made so you could see her tits.
Yeah.
That's all. I really think the writer sat down, was like, I really want to make a movie, but I don't know how to incorporate Charlize Theron and her tits.
Yeah, we need how do I get a pool so she's just like this? I'm not sure how to do that. And then it ended up with a murder. And was there a casino?
He just started writing things down.
Yeah, they knocked over a casino, didn't they?
Yeah, something like that. They were like robbers, knocked over a casino.
So if you write the list of all the stuff that happens, you can tell. I'm with you. It's just a list of cool shit they thought they could put in a movie, and then barely tied them all together.
Yeah, it's just like, so what's gonna happen is they're gonna go in, they're gonna rob a casino, they're gonna say a few lines, like they were there, and they're like, so what's the script? You guys, you paid us all this money to come in here, and they're like, what script? Just say stuff.
Hold on. They have, well, if they were smart enough to make a script, they bring it to Affleck. He reads it and he's like, why would I ever do this movie? And they say 3 words. Charlie's Theron's tits.
I'm in.
And he goes, I'm in. Yes! There it is.
Yeah,
There it is.
I'm
That's
in.
how they got Ben Affleck to do the movie.
This is the dumbest movie I've ever seen. They're like, Ben, did you read page 36? And he scrolls through it and he looks up, he looks down, he looks up. I'm in.
I'm in. End of trailer for movie.
Yeah.
End of the trailer for the movie. This is stupid. The whole thing you just said is the whole trailer.
Ready? You ready? Here comes the trailer of the movie. Charlize Theron. Tits. And everybody's like, I'm in.
Pre-sale sold out.
Fucking can't stand that movie, dude. It is. And it was a rough one to get through. And at the age that I was when I saw it, there really, at the end of the day, wasn't a benefit for me besides one scene.
I'm gonna guess it's not the robbery scene.
Obviously it was, dude. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
okay, yeah. Right. He doesn't have any ammo. I remember that.
Yeah, dude, I can't even remember. That's how bad the movie was. I can't even remember the fucking plot to the movie.
No.
Something about a robbery. They betray
There's
each
something in the
other.
road. There's something. It's snowing.
This is his girlfriend, but she's this dude's girlfriend, and then they were like, no, she's not either one of your girlfriends.
Is she the reindeer?
Or is she the game?
The perilous questions of the world.
So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So anyways, I think this would be a good spot to end the podcast. So at this point in time, we're going to end the podcast. And I'm going to say this. You can like the video if you like the video. You can share the video if that's a thing you do. You could subscribe to the channel because everybody needs to subscribe to the channel. What do you think, Adam?
I say that what you say is what I say.
What did I say?
You can like, you can share, and you can subscribe to the channel for the Schmucks Club. Subscribe to the channel of the Schmucks Club.
So he became a country western singer. I can't even say that. I cannot say that.
Oh, dude, you are a pinata, and the English language is swinging the fuck away, bro.
Man, dude. Anyways, like, share, subscribe, do all the fun things. We really appreciate you all for watching. We hope you join us next week for a little bit of the Clubs of Schmucks. Thank you all. And at the end of the day, it's always going to be positivity
Over negativity.
Thank you all for watching.